you're here. So, all right, guys. So I'm Trey Honeycutt. Thanks for jumping on. We are going to do a phone script workshop. So I'm really excited about this. Let me get off this other device because it's going in my ears and I'm hearing myself talk. All right. Got it. Okay. All right. Phones. What the heck? Keeps kicking my camera off. And you guys could see me and then it goes off. So for whatever reason, we'll try to keep it, we'll try to keep it going. So my name's Trey. Thanks for jumping on. I have been with Family First Life now since 2014. I've made thousands and thousands and thousands of phone calls and set thousands of appointments. So I feel pretty confident that I can help you guys with the phone script workshop. By a show of hands or dropping a comment in the chat, let me know how new you guys are. How many of you have already set some appointments? How many of you are brand new and never set any appointments yet? Give me some feedback so I could see it. Just in the chat. If you're brand new, let me know. All right, so I'm assuming some of you, the rest of you, and I tried to start my video. My video doesn't work. So it works for a second and then you guys can see me and then it'll go out. So I don't know why that's happening, but I'm going back to the basics. Good job, Joe Martinez. Never set any appointments. All right. Now, how do I say your name? Leontine? That's a great name. Hopefully I said it right. Okay, so never set any appointments. So I think the number one thing when you're brand new is just to have the proper expectations on the phone. That's really what it's about. Like just having the right expectations of what's going to happen when you're just getting started. And the thing you have to understand is it's going to take a lot of time on the phone. Like this 80% of this business is the telephone. In fact, I would say 80% of the business is really mindset, 20% is actual skill set. And of that 20%, 80% of that is telephone, is setting the appointments, just getting in the habit of getting on the phone, calling the leads, getting in front of people, and understanding that, leads, having the right mindset about the leads. Leads are leads, they're not sales. So what that means is there are people that have raised their hand and say, hey, I'm interested, but that doesn't mean it's a guaranteed sale. So having the right expectation when you thank you, I'm glad I pronounced that right. Having the right mindset when you start out, I think is really crucial. I would love for my camera to actually work. Let's see if I can get it to actually stay on. Start video. And let me try this one more time, guys. Yeah. Don't know what's up with that. Really weird. Yeah, so I don't know if you can see me now, but it stays on for a second and then it goes off. Let's do this. Why don't I just do it from my phone? I know I can get that to work. Team FFL.com. So I'll prop my phone up here and then we'll have video too, so it'll be all right. And open. And there we go. All right, cool. So let's do this. I'll mute. And sorry, I got echo. All right, now, here we go. All right, thanks for jumping on, everybody. So phone script 101. Number one thing is to have the proper expectations. What are the right expectations? You're going to make a lot of phone calls. What are the right expectations? A lot of people will not set an appointment with you. In order to set 15 appointments, you're going to have to get on the phone for 6 to 8 hours. That's normal. A lot of folks, what they think is oh, I'm just going to get 10 leads and I'll call them and I'll book 8 and it'll take me 20 minutes. That's actually the worst thing that could ever happen to you in this business. Because what it'll do is it'll make you think that happens every week, and it doesn't. The best thing that ever happened to me when I started in this business was I went and I dialed with Paul McLean, who's arguably the #1 salesperson of all time with Family First Life. And he got his butt kicked on the phone. He did horrible that day. And that actually helped me more than anything else, because I realized that even the best to ever do it still has bad days. And it made me have the right expectation of what it was going to look like. The reality is, like I was saying earlier, 80% of it is the phone calls. So you just got to get good at getting leads, and you got to get good at setting appointments. And so we'll go through the phone script, because that's what this is about. And I'll tell you what mine is. And then what I want to do is give you an idea why it is what it is, because that's really important. If you can understand why we say what we say, then the rest of it will make a lot of sense. So the first thing, and if you were to write, there's two things. If you were to write anything I say down, the #1 phone objection that you got to learn to handle in this business is I don't feel like dialing. That's the one objection that messes everybody up. It's not when you call somebody up and they say, hey, I'm not interested, or hey, we already got it taken care of, or hey, it's not that. That's not what it is. The #1 phone objection is I don't feel like dialing right now. I'll do it later. If you could, oh, somebody mute. Let's see. All right, there we go. So if you can get past that part, just the idea of I'm going to dial when I say I'm going to dial, and I'm going to do it consistently, whether I feel like it or not. As long as you can do that, you'll be good in the business. Now, one of the things that I tell people that's really important for me was having the right environment so that I would actually make the phone calls when I was supposed to. Like when I started in FFL, people would say, I can't dial from my house, because if I dial from my house, I just get distracted. I start doing the dishes. I start doing the laundry. I'll wash the car, and I'm listening to all that. And I go, man, you guys are just way too productive. Because like, I just, if I'm not dialing, I just watch TV. Like, that's why I can't dial from the house. I'm not trying to clean everything. I'm just avoiding dialing. So one of the things I learned to do early on was get myself in the right environment to dial, to set the appointments. And I changed the language early on from dialing to appointment setting. Like people would say, Trey, what are you doing? I'm booking appointments. I would say that instead of, hey, I'm dialing. Because dialing is like an unresolved, like black hole of misery. Setting appointments has a goal, has a purpose. So when I'm showing up, I have a goal of how many appointments I need to set. I have my leads ready. I have a good attitude, and I get on the phone when I'm supposed to. And I have the right expectation of what it's going to take. I typically, no matter what I was dialing on, would book 2 to 3 appointments an hour on average. So if I wanted to book 15 appointments, I knew that I needed to be on the phone like 7 hours. And what I would do, and what I would encourage all of you to do, is I would start early. I'd get on the phone at 7:30 in the morning, and I would dial till 10:30 or 11. And then, because that's a prime dial time. And then my other prime dial time is between 5:30 at night to 9 p.m. Those are the times that I could book a lot of appointments. In fact, when I say that to people, most people go, well, I can't book it. Like, I can't call after 8. Like, that makes me feel weird. Like, no, I'd say what's really interesting is if you get in the habit of dialing between 8:30 and 9 at night, you'll book more appointments between 8:30 and 9 at night than you will between like 6 and 8. It'll trip you out. It takes some guts to do it in the beginning because you feel like you're really bothering people. But I could tell you one thing, like the mindset is you're not bothering people, they're bothering you. You're just sitting at home minding your own business, and they filled out the form on the internet. Like, you weren't bothering nobody. Like, then you got to call them 37 times before they answer. Like, who's inconveniencing who? Y'all filled it out. I'm just trying to help out here. Would you at least answer the phone? So what I would do is I just got in the mindset of I wasn't bothering them, they were bothering me. If they picked up the phone like they were supposed to, I wouldn't have to call them 37 times in a day. So I think the mindset of understanding that is really important. The other thing is understanding that when you start, dialing people 3 times in a row is super uncomfortable. Like, you're gonna hear that a lot. Like, you're gonna hear people say, "I don't know, man, I don't," because we'll talk about it. Like, "Hey, you gotta dial people 3 times in a row." And they'll say, "I don't know, that's really," and it is. Dude, it took me like a year before I really got comfortable dialing 3 times in a row. Now I'll dial people 10 times in a row. I'll dial until they pick up. I don't care. It doesn't bother me at all. I mean, literally at all. Like, it doesn't bother me at all. Like, there's very few things. I can't think of anything that bothers me less. Like, I'll dial it until they pick up. And if they're mad, I don't really care because they answered. And I go into my phone script. And it's not a big deal. And very few people actually get mad anyway. 99% of the stuff you worry about before you pick up the phone to dial actually never happens anyhow. It actually never happens. Like, what if the person's really mean to me? Who cares? It's on the telephone. It's an internet bully. I don't care. It's not like somebody trying to take my lunch money and stuffing me in a locker. Like, it's not like that. So hopefully that helps. All right, so let's get to the phone script. And I think Kennon's microphone is on now.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank God.
So
I
know nobody wants to hear this long, crazy story, but I had to go back into my settings, go to the device, turn on the microphone, and it was just crazy, but I did it.
Nice. Well, I'm glad you got it to work.
Yes.
All right.
But Trey, you're so good. You're so good. You just should keep going.
Well, I am going to keep, I got to get to my phone script part, and then I will let you take over. But
Okay.
This is basically what my phone script is, Kennon, okay?
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you guys why I say what I say after I get through it. So it doesn't matter what kind of lead I'm calling, all you're doing is just changing the opening of the contact, right? So if it's a mortgage lead, I say I'm calling about mortgage protection. If it's final expense, I'm saying I called because you sent in that form to find out about the programs to pay your burial expenses when you die. If it's you filled out a form on the internet, I'll say I'm getting back to that request that you submitted on the internet. No matter what it is, I'm just, whatever the lead is, I just change the opening of it. So let's say that Kennon is an internet lead, because that's what most of y'all are going to start off on, internet leads, which are awesome, by the way, because they're inexpensive. So I'll call Kennon. Ring, ring. Say hello.
Hi.
Kennon?
Hello. Yes, this is Kennon.
Hey, Kennon, this is Trey. I'm not a telemarketer. I was getting back to you because you submitted a request about the state regulated program when you die. I'm just a field underwriter. They just have me verify the information. You put that your birthday is 1/25/1970.
Yes, that's correct.
Is that right?
That's correct.
And are you a smoker or non-smoker?
Non-smoker.
Okay. So when you submitted the request, were you looking for just yourself or for you and someone else?
Just myself for right now.
Okay. So the way it works with us, these plans are non-medical. So the only eyes on you just to make sure.
Hello? Hello?
Well, you might want to take it away.
Just to make sure you're not in a hospital bed or in a wheelchair.
Can you hear me, Trey?
Yes, I don't know where I left off, but I was trying.
Can you hear me?
All right. Yes, I hear you great.
Okay. Because you were cutting out.
Good. Oh, okay. Let's start over. Ring, ring, say hello.
Hello.
Kennon? Hey, Kennon, this is Trey. I'm not a telemarketer. I was getting back to you because I know. I was getting back to you because you submitted a request online about the state regulated programs to pay your burial expenses when you die. I'm just the field underwriter. They just have me verify some of the information so we can figure out what to get out to you, okay? You put down your birthday as 1/25/1975.
That's right.
Okay, and are you a smoker or non-smoker?
I am a non-smoker.
Okay, and were you looking for coverage for you or information for just you, or you and someone else, you and a spouse?
Just for myself for right now.
All right. All right, so the way the plans work with us, do you do anything dangerous for work, like fly an airplane or fight fires?
No, I do not.
Okay. So the way the plans work for us, they're all non-medical. The only requirement is that somebody actually lay eyes on you, just to make sure you're not in a hospital bed or a wheelchair. So
Got
it
it.
takes about 10 minutes. They have me ask you a few health questions. I put the information in the computer. It'll spit out the different plans, and then you can figure out what you want to do from there. They pretty much pay me just to bring it out to you.
Okay.
What time do you normally get home from work?
I usually get home between 4 and 5. It just varies, but usually for sure by 4:30, I'm home.
All right, so they have me out in your area tomorrow. I don't have a 4:30, but I do have a 5:30. I'm in and out real quick. Will you be home for about 10 minutes so I can get that information out to you?
Yes, I will be.
Okay, perfect. Well, do me a favor, grab a pen,
Okay.
write this down. My name's
Mhm.
Trey. My agent ID is AW70. That's the confirmation code.
Okay.
And I'll be there tomorrow between 5:30 and 6, just in case of traffic. And I'm in and out real quick. I just go over the different options, and you could throw it away when I leave if you want.
Okay. Okay.
Sound good?
That sounds good.
All right, what time did I say?
4:30? Between 4:30 and 5?
Tomorrow at 5:30.
Or 5:30, I'm sorry.
5:30 and 6 tomorrow.
There you go.
Yes,
5:30 and 6.
exactly.
Yep.
And you don't have any crazy pit bulls or anything, right? That'll bite me if I come up to the gate or.
No dogs.
Okay, perfect. If I had to outrun a dog, we'd both be in trouble. I would not get away, that's for sure. So, all right, I'll see you tomorrow between 5:30 and 6. I look forward to meeting you and helping you then.
Can't wait. Looking forward to it.
And then you say thank you.
Thank you
Perfect.
so much.
And then they usually say thank you, and I go, you're welcome. And that's it.
Yes.
And so a few things. Now, my phone script's a little different, but I'll tell you guys the breakdown of it. The first thing is you need to identify yourself, why you're calling. You need to get to some identifying information before you let them talk. Once they talk, you need to ask questions to try to figure out when you're going to ask for the appointment and who you need to ask for the appointment with. And then you need to tell them why you need to see them. So the reason why you need to see them is you do the field underwriting, you need to make sure they are who they say they are, and they can qualify medically. They're not in a hospital bed or a wheelchair. And then you basically set the appointment, you get a time, and then you firm it up. All phone scripts, that's pretty much all it is. A few of the things that I specifically say inside my phone script is for the purpose of overcoming the most common objections. Like I'll say something like, my job is just to figure out what you qualify for. It takes you about 10 minutes. I put the information in the computer, it'll spit out the different programs, and then you guys can do whatever you want to do from there. What I'm saying there is, like, if somebody goes, well, how much is it? I don't know. I got to put it in the computer so it'll spit out the different programs. Like, can you mail it? No, I'm not going to mail you my computer so I can put the stuff in it to spit out the program. Like, all this stuff I'm saying is to try to overcome the most common thing that people are going to ask. So they don't ask it. Like the big thing about the phone script and the big thing about your in-home is just trying to overcome objections in advance so that you don't actually get them. The other thing I do is I take a ton of the sales pressure off. Like I tell folks, I pretty much get paid just to bring it out to you. And that is the truth, by the way. If I take it out to 10 people, 8 of them show up and 4 of them buy it. I really don't care if they're one of the 2 that don't show up or one of the 4 that don't buy. But if I don't have 10, I can't get the 4. So they could be any one of those that they want to be. It doesn't matter to me. But if I don't have appointments, I don't get paid. So I do pretty much get paid just to bring it to them. And I've convinced myself that is the truth. That is what I do. If I have 30 appointments, 20 of those puppies show up and 10 of them will buy it, even if I don't want them to. That's about as deep as my insurance wisdom gets. It's not about I'm not a 90% closer. For me, this is absolute numbers. And if I don't put the numbers in my favor, it 100% does not work. So that's why I say that. The other thing I do is, hey, it takes 10 minutes. You can throw it away when I leave. Like, I literally want people to think that I'm just showing up to drop something off. Like, I don't want them to think it's a 2-hour thing. And really, it is 10 minutes. Like, if I get in the house with somebody and I'm 10 minutes in and they ain't gonna buy, I'll just leave. That's the other thing. I have enough appointments where when I'm in the field, like, I have enough appointments, I don't need them to get it. If it's not going anywhere, I'll just leave. I'm good with that. Now, if they buy it and they got questions, that might take me an hour to do 2 apps. Might take me an hour and a half if I'm new. The other thing I do is I give myself drive time, you know? So I'll tell people, hey, I'll be there between this time and this time. I'm like the cable guy. I'll be there between 10 and 11. You know, the cable guy is like, I'll be there between 9 and 4. You know, I'm a lot better than the cable guy. I'm just 10 and 11. I'll be there between 11 and 12. And I try to book the appointments if I'm doing in-home sales every hour on the hour. Now, the reason why I focus on the in-home sales part is with internet leads, with real-time internet leads, you can get those in your backyard, and you should do some internet sales. This is Sean Mike calling me. I got to answer, so Kennon, you take over.
Yep, got it.
Okay, bye.
Got it. Thank you, Trey. Okay, so I'm glad we got this all figured out. A couple of things that I wanted to add for me. I would say, you know, I've been doing this now for a year this month. And I've learned a lot of what not to do, and you kind of feel around and get your you'll get it in whatever feels comfortable to you, because you want to make sure, with me at least, you want to be very assumptive. You want to make it simple. You want to have the right tonality and the timing. I basically am pretty good with intuition. So when I first get on the phone with somebody, I can kind of feel it out where it's going to go, where the conversation is going to lead to. And what Trey does too, basically what he said in his script, is when I introduce who I am, there's no pause in between anything, because if you give them a chance to say something, then it's just going to be drawn out and you're going to lose them. So basically I never put the pause in. I just go from who I am, what I'm doing. I need to verify some information from you, your date of birth, and then if they say yes, that is, then you know that you have them. They haven't hung up on you. They haven't said I'm not interested. So you have a chance there. So for me, that's really important. You want to, if it's an older person, I found you want to speak really slowly, kind of at their pace. I've had times before where I've talked too fast to an older person and I've been hung up on, or they don't understand. And, so you kind of get the feel of the person. Now, if it's, a middle-aged or younger person and they're, have laughing and joking and this and that, then I kind of go with that tone. I kind of go with their tone where they're leading. So to me, that's really important, because you want to keep them on the phone, and you want to get all the information out, and you want to get that appointment set. Let's see. What else did I want to say? And you definitely want to, this was something that I learned as I learn as I go, is you basically want to take charge, be assumptive right off the bat, because a lot of the times what I found when I first started, I got a little nervous, and I was kind of, and I love, and I love people and I love talking on the phone. But when I knew that I just felt it took me a while to kind of relax a little bit and kind of go with the flow, and that'll take time. That's all in time. But you do want to take charge, because people want that. They want you to take charge. They want you to know that what you're talking about. So that's really, really important, and they can feel it. They can feel it over the phone. If you're somebody calling and you're basically, not really knowing what you're saying, or they can feel that. So just work on that. It helps a lot. And that comes with time. Like I say, you don't just overnight do that. That just starts to come. And then pretty soon you're going to feel so comfortable with it that it's like night and day. So, anyway, so really I like, be assumptive, make it simple, before you make the phone call, just know that you're going to make it simple. It's not a long drawn out thing. You do the hello, get their date of birth, make sure it's the right person. And like I said, don't put a pause in there, just keep going. And then just basically let them know you're not going to keep them on the phone long, that you just have a couple of questions about their medications. And then you go ahead and set the appointment, like Trey said. So that to me has worked. It has been working. I started out really slow, and then I started doing, oh gosh, I'm going brain dead here. I can't think of the name of it right now. Anyway, over the phone, I was doing over the phone mostly, not in home. And it really, the more I did it, the more it got easier, and the more I got comfortable with it. I'm a really people person, so I like to see the person, and I like to be, with them. That is what I like. But I started doing it on the phone, and I got better and better and better. And I started getting more states that I got licensed with. So that gave me a real big push, because I had more calls. I had just a variety of things. So that was a good thing. So I suggest that if you could, maybe start local with where you're at, but if you can get more states, that would be wonderful. That's helped me out a great deal. It's helped me out a whole lot. Let's see. So really, that's what I have. You will get this. I want to tell you guys, it's, my first 3 months, I was just really, it was up and down, roller coaster. And then, I got to the point where I wasn't afraid to ask questions. For me, for a while, it was like, I don't want to sound stupid. I don't know, this, but there's so many people in Family First Life that are so willing to help, and that are so good, and they don't mind. So it's so worth just reaching out. I mean, you can reach out to me, Shannon Goldsmith, Matt Goodrich, Trey. But that's the one nice thing about this company, is that there's so much help out there. There's so many videos. There's so much that you can learn on your own even. So they've done it so well. It's just written out really, really well. Trying to think what else. That's really all I can think of right now. Does anybody have any questions? Any questions from anybody? Any questions? Hello? Okay. Well, if there isn't any questions, I appreciate your time, and I'm really, really sorry that it got so confusing. If you have any questions, you can contact me. Where can I find the recording? I'm not sure actually where to pull that up from. That's a good question. You might be able to find it on FFL. Let's see. I don't know I'm not sure where that is, but somebody will know out there. Like I said, this is all new to me, doing this training thing. So I'm sorry if it was a little thrown out everywhere. So anyway, thank you so much for taking the time, and good luck to all of you. Can you share your phone script? Sure. So basically, so with my phone script, what I do is I'll say, hi, my name is Kennon. I'm the local field underwriter here in wherever county you're in that you're calling that customer, the local field underwriter here in Marion County. And I'm getting back with you about the request you sent in. And you always want to make sure you say that, because people will come back and say, I didn't send anything in, or I will, you know, that. So you want to say that you sent in online for the regulated life insurance programs. And then I go right, I don't pause, I go right directly into, I just need to quickly verify some information from you to make sure I'm speaking to the right person. And then I go over their name, their date of birth, and make sure it's correct. They yes, yes, yes. And then I ask them if they're working, retired, or disabled, unemployed, answer. And so the important thing is that I have found that I've been successful with, when I first started, I guess I should say, I paused a lot and I waited for them to say something, and I wait, you know, and then that just gets to be it. They have too much time thinking. So if you go through it and just get that done and nail down the appointment, you know, it's good. So the pause is a really thing that I would not, I mean, try to just, you know, you don't want to, I guess, speed it up and act like you're not listening to them at all, but there's a way to it that you can do it. You know, if they ask me a question, I'll answer it really fast, and then I'll just keep going on. And like I said, it all depends on the person. You know, the person could hang up on you, or the person could be, well, tell me a little bit more about this. And I've had people do that, but basically, if you do that, then you kind of lose the sale. You don't want to lose the sale. You want to get there and tell them face to face in front, unless they're going to buy over the phone. So I've had a lot of people do that. They've asked me, well, tell me a little bit about this. I just want the quote, and that's it. I don't, you know, and that's, to get around that, you just say, well, you know, I'm contracted with several different carriers, and basically, there's a lot of different quotes out there. What we could do is sit down and go over it. It takes about 10 or 15 minutes. I'll come out and then so on and so on, because a lot of people will just want the quote and then they'll hang up. So I get that a lot. And I was giving quotes when I first started. I was giving quotes out, and then I was getting nowhere, because basically they got their quote and they'll just go and get another quote from somebody else. So really try hard not to let them do that, to get a quote out of you on the phone, unless they're planning on buying and you're going to do it over the phone. And like I said, I was working with EverQuote. That's what I was trying to remember. Sorry about this. I was doing mostly EverQuote. So basically, the people would call you. They give you the person's name, and they're on the phone, and you have a 2-minute window. So you kind of got to feel them out within that 2 minutes. And so that's why you go through that script really with something like that. When you have a 2-minute window, I wouldn't suggest EverQuote to new people. I would probably wait. You know, I started it probably about 3 months ago, I guess. But I became successful with it because I had the what I want to say, kind of like, I knew where I was going with everything the minute I got on the phone, and I had my timer, and I did a lot of one-call closes with that. So that's just my experience. That's just with me. And but yeah, so if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm available, and I hope I helped some. I know I probably was all over the place. I'm sorry about that. I apologize. And anyway, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Lorna, yes, I will shoot you Lorna Cruz. Is this Lorna?
Yes, that's me. Thank you. Yeah. We can't hear you anymore.
Can you hear me?
Oh, there you go. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for that script. That's wonderful.
Oh, no. That's okay. So it's 541
Okay. 541
778
778
1678.
1678. Thank you, Shannon. Ken.
It's Ken. That's okay.
Ken.
That's okay.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you. How long have you been doing?
I'm
When did
on
you
and-
start?
I'm actually
Oh.
on and off, and yeah, I want to get back again. So
Okay. Yes, you should. You definitely should, because it gets better. It does get better. We all have our highs and lows, but I'm telling you, it's worth sticking in there. And things like this help a lot too. And you can call me anytime with any
thank
question.
you. I really appreciate that. I will.
Yes.
You're great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye.